trên tay là blank hay tôi có số 247. Sáng lên trong đêm tối anh em lên phố trên đôi Jordan. Mobbing with the mob để lấy những thứ anh em tao cần. Mobbing with the ocean, chặt nào cất lên cao dần. Ở động đất à, không phải, đây là bọn anh đã đi lên. Ở động đất à, không phải, đây là bọn anh đã đi lên. Ở động đất à, không phải, đây là bọn anh đã đi lên.
Hello everyone, my name is Linh, and today I will talk to Chapter 7, Intonation. The past one is some basic concept. The first is intonation. The tempo intonation refers to the ways the voice goes up and down in pitch. And when people are speaking, it is a fundamental part of the way we express our own truth, and it enables us to understand those of another, as well as helping to determine meaning. Intonation gives us clues about the speaker's attitudes and or how he feels about. For instance, we can get a good idea as to whether someone is interested in, bother, and being kind, being honest, or lying. And number 2 is pitch. And the pitch can be understood the quality of sound, and that is governed by the rate of vibration producing it. In short, pitch refers to degree of highness or lowest of a tone. Number 3, tones. Tone is a central part of pitch movement. By means of tone, the speaker signals whether what he says a proclamation, an agreement, disagreement, a question, a hesitation, or indicator of completion and continuation of turns taking in speech. The number 4 is tonic syllable. Tonic syllable is the most stressed syllable where the tones falls, and this syllable is more prominent than the other, and it will tend to be longer in duration and louder than the other stressed syllable in the entrance. The tonic syllable is normally the primary stressed syllable of the last content words in intonation phrase. For example, I am student and I will contract and meet him tomorrow. Number 5, intonation phrase. Intonation phrase is a string of discourse which contains a tonic syllable. An uttered train can be spoken as one or several tones units depending on the tempo of speech and the speaker purpose of communication. Example 1. I'm going to Hanoi for meeting next Saturday. 2. I'm going to Hanoi for meeting next Saturday. 3. I'm going to Hanoi for meeting next Saturday. Obviously, the utterance I am going to Hanoi for meeting next Saturday can be said with one pose, one tone unit, as 2 pose, 2 tone units, and 3 pose, 3 tone units. However, Cecil Muricier states that a typical tone unit must be set off by pause before and after, contain the one prominent element, and has an intonation contour of its own, and has a grammatically coherent internal structure. And for example, unstill level, a noun phrase, verb phrase, adverbial phrase, prepositional phrase and clause, or even spot simple sentence can be tone units. For example, if your team does its work well, the manager will speak kindly about your group, and your team is now phrase well, do its job well verb phrase, and the manager now phrase will speak kindly verb phrase and about your group is prepositional phrase. B. If your team does its job well, the manager will speak kindly about your group. If your team does its job well is clause. The manager will speak kindly is clause and about your group is the prepositional phrase.
Let's look at some lists and how to say them. I like birds, cats, and dogs. Can you hear it go up, up, down? Today will be nice and sunny. Up and then down, rise and then fall. The test was long, scary, and difficult. Rise, rise, fall. It works for lists in questions too. Do you want blue or red? Where are Tom, Sally, and Jenny? Rise, rise, fall. Did you eat beef, pork, or chicken?
Central grammatical function and discourse function. Attitudinate function. The most overflow of the intonation is express our attitude and emotion to show shock or surprise, pleasure or anger, interest or boredom, severity or sarcasm, and many others. We use this by term.
Friend and you're talking about someone else. You point and you say, he is married. But it's loud, your friend has not quite heard you. She says, he's not married. And you say, no, he is married. Stressing the word is. So the first time you said it, he's married. He is married. The word married got the stress. But the second time, he is married. You're bringing out the word is because there is confusion, is or isn't. So you're going to stress the word where the confusion was. He is married, changing the stress of the sentence. Let's say your friend did understand he is married, but she thought you were pointing at someone else. So she points and says, he's married, and you say, no, he's married. He, and you point at the correct person.
Wolf, quick, run! Really? Yeah, I just saw it kill a man. Really? No, it's just a joke. There's no wolf. Really? Oh my god, this time there really is a wolf. Oh yeah, I really believe you this time. Nice doggy. Nice doggy. Intonation can also be used as an attitudinal function. This means that it uses rising and falling tones to express emotion. A rising tone can indicate surprise. Really? A falling tone can indicate disbelief. Really? A flat tone can indicate boredom. Really? And any mixture of these can indicate sarcasm. I really believe you. Remember that intonation isn't standard, and some emotions may be expressed differently by different people. In particular, sarcasm varies a lot. Furthermore, intonation is used in combination with sentence stress, so I recommend you watch my video on sentence stress for more information about this. So if intonation isn't standard, then how can we learn it? The examples contained in this video are widespread and they're a good starting point for understanding English intonation. But the best way to understand it is simply to become more aware of it. When you listen to native speakers, focus on how they use intonation. How does their intonation change with their emotions? Does their intonation change depending on the grammatical function? Once you have identified some common intonation patterns, you can start to imitate them and incorporate them into your own speech. I recommend you record yourself speaking English so that you can listen and compare yourself to native speakers and monitor your progress.
Grammatical function. Grammatical function. The leader better recognize grammar and what is being said by using the information contained in the intonation. Example: policeman is a bond daily between prayer, plural, and sentence. Difference between question and statement using grammatical subordination, and so on.
I don't have time for your childish stories, okay? I've got to make a video about intonation. Hi everybody and welcome to Rude English. In today's video I'm going to be discussing intonation. Intonation is the melody of a language, and it can be used both as a grammatical device and to express emotion. So if you want to understand English intonation and improve your pronunciation, then keep watching this video. Languages can be divided into two groups, tonal and non-tonal. Tonal languages, such as Chinese, use intonation to distinguish the meaning of a word. English is a non-tonal language. This means that intonation alone can't distinguish the meaning of a word. However, intonation does have meaning in English, and it makes our words easier to understand when used correctly. Students often struggle to understand intonation, and teachers often struggle to teach it because English intonation isn't standard. Different people have different intonation depending on their accent, culture, social position, and personality. However, there are some basic rules we can follow, so let's take a look at them now. Intonation as a grammatical function uses rising and falling tones to indicate questions and answers, new and old information, and finished and unfinished sentences. In yes or no questions, the intonation usually rises or rises then falls. For example, do you like animals? In questions that contain a question word such as who, what, when, where, why, or how, the intonation usually falls. What's your favorite animal? In contrasting questions, the intonation rises, then falls. Do you prefer cats or dogs? Intonation often rises with old information and falls with new information. I like cats and dogs, but I really like rabbits. In question tags, the intonation falls, then rises if the answer is uncertain. You aren't afraid of wolves, are you? If the answer is certain, the intonation falls. You aren't afraid of wolves, are you? In short answers, the intonation falls. No, I'm not. Finally, intonation often rises with lists of information, but falls at the end of the sentence. This is a useful way of indicating that you've finished speaking and someone else can talk. I have a dog, 2 cats, 3 rabbits, and a horse.
Essential function. Essential function distinguishes between old and new information in an utterance and direct listener. attention to the silent part of the message.
Accentual functions refer to accent. When it is said that intonation has accentual function, it implies that the placement of stress is somewhat determined by intonation. That is, there is some relationship between accent and stress. Tonic syllable can be accented syllable, or there is a tendency of the stressed syllable or accented syllable to be the tonic syllable. Functions of accentual intonation. The most common position for the placement of tonic syllable is the last lexical word, that is noun, adjective, verb or adverb, and not the functional words. But it is not that lexical words are always stressed or is accented. For contrastive purpose, any word may become the bearer of tonic syllable. So when you want to show some opposition, show some comparison, of course even the particle, articles, determiners, functional words, they can also be tonic syllable. They can also carry tonic stress. For example, she was wearing a red dress. It is normal. Dress is the final lexical word. It's a noun. That is why it is accented as well as it gets the intonation. But when you want to change or when you want to show contrast, like she was not wearing a red dress, so she was wearing a green dress. So the comparison is contrast is between the red and the green. I want to know where he is traveling to. So it is normal because traveling is the last lexical word and to is a functional word. But when you want to differentiate between to and from, for example, I don't want to know, okay, it should be no. I don't want to know where he is traveling to, but I want to know where he is traveling from. So here the emphasis is on to and from. Accent is also on to and from because you want to have a contrast between these prepositions. Functions of accentual intonation too. Similarly, the purpose of emphasis. The tonic stress can be placed in other positions as well. Not only the final lexical word, it can be some word before the final lexical one. For example, the movie was very boring. So boring is an adjective. It is a final one. But for contrastive purpose, for emphasizing, you can have the emphasis, you can have the tone or accent on the word before the final lexical word. Like, the movie was very boring. You shouldn't talk so loudly. You shouldn't talk so loudly. The third function of accentual intonation is to clarify the ambiguities. In written version, of course, it is very difficult to understand this, but while using intonation, you can clarify ambiguous statements. For example, I have plans to leave. So in written form, you use I have plans to leave. But this sentence can have two different meanings. If you say, I have plans to leave, that is, I am planning to leave. I am going out. But when you say, I have plans to leave, it means that I have a number of plans which I don't want to use. Here, leave means not, you are not going to use them anymore. You have plans like
Discuss function. Intonation can signal to the listener what is to be taken as new information and what is already given. The next is can indicate when the speaker is indicating some sort of concept or language material in another tongue unit. In conversation, it can convey to the listener what kind of response is being expected for him.
Hello everyone, I'm Hui. Now I will start my part. Intonation patterns. There are 4 common types of intonation patterns: fall, rise, rise fall, and fall rise. Intonation serves different functions and communication and how it depends on the context. Let's analyze the meaning of yes in these situations. Yes. A long fall, an affirmative to yes no question and emphasize the point. Yes. A short fall, an affirmative to yes no question and not to emphasize the point. Yes. A long rise, to add for what speaker says. It said mean that you say yes. Yes. A short rise and respond to the indicate of such signal of intention. Yes. Yes. A full rise, a passionate of agreement to withdrawals of reservation. Nevertheless, the following suggests a typical use in this pattern. As you know, we have 4 types of intonation, and in my part we will talk about 2 types. Just is full intonation, dry intonation. First, we will come to full intonation. Generally, full intonation had used to indicate finality when the speaker had delivered the message in gesture. Therefore, we normally use a full tone in this case. The end of declarative utterance just gives a statement about a new motorbike. The end of reply of question: when are you leaving? Tomorrow. The end of WH question which asks for information: how long have you been learning English? Or the end of the comment: don't close the door. Sometimes you can use for a question task request confirmation for an agreement rather than real question. The task may follow the statement and its grammatical sentence. It's a beautiful today, isn't it? Yeah, it's due for a picnic. Or you can, for intonation, can use when a noun phrase asks for WH word question to clarify the subject or object of concern. How long has she been teaching English? The mother's. The end, or sometimes you can use for the end of the clause, usually the tone unit, containing of new information. See you on Sunday. But I'm going for a holiday at the weekend. In this example, holiday conveys new information to the listener, but weekend includes Sundays each given. And finally, you can use at the end of direct, indirect, and more polite requests. Usually, would you mind? Would you mind holding this? I wonder if you could help me. And now we will come to dry intonation or rising tone. Dry intonation generally indicates the non-finality, where the speaker hasn't reached the end of what he/she has said. Thus, the right intonation typically occurs in these cases: the end of tone units, a phrase or clause containing the information that has been mentioned, already know or implicitly implied. No, thanks, I'm on a diet because I want to lose weight. You can just eat less. You have to do more exercise. It is simple. Eat less. If given information because it's been on a diet, thus the right intonation is you. Vocatives and that indicate the addresses. Long. Close the door. Long is addresses. Oh, sweetie, where's your orders? Sweetie is addresses. Next is your question tag that you just show uncertainty and require answer. You didn't do it, did you? You are finished, haven't you? Or you had no question to make sure about something. Are you a student? A direct question offered to suggestion. The request offer question are the form of yes, no question, or question tag with the modal verbs. Let's go with the teacher tonight. Would you like something? Phrase of WH word question to get a speaker repeat what he or she has said. Say it again. Sorry. A noun phrase referring the subject of or object of the statement before it. They look so cute, this dog. And list. All the items listed in the has been rising tone except the last one with the falling tone because it's a piece of message. She took a camera, an umbrella, a hat, and a sunscreen.
Hello, my name is Mai. Today I will talk the right for intonation. A. Exclamation. Exclamation can be statement, praise, interjection, there's no question, which signals surprise, excitement, anger. In their circumstance, the stone rise as being and rarely fall at the end. For example, what's a for idea? And they beautiful, how very nice of him. Or part D, affirmative question upside the tone right on the first part of question and fall on the last part after all. For example, would you like fruit juice or ice cream? Is he leaving on today or tomorrow? D. Conditional sensitive. In a conditional sensitive, the tone rise in the if clause and fall randomly in the main clause. For example, if you live here, I won't work for him unless the contact, he won't forgive her. Question pronouncing as suggestion. For example, why don't you go see the doctor? In this case, the pig got up at the beginning and gradually down at the end. Right false intonation. Incomplete statement. Incomplete statement signals the speaker and finished round. See his state to fully express his her role in response. For example, do you like my handbag? Well, the leader is nice. The end of what clause is the E followed by a clause. What he needs in earning as much money as possible. My problem is I don't know how to get there. The fact of the matter is building the railroad is costly. The end of a relative clause in the syllable sentence if the information in the clause is given. For example, where are the sandwich? Is each dog that is all sandwich? The end of suggested answer given by the question. For example, where are you going shopping mall? What are you wearing today? The red you wore yesterday again. E. A praise or a clause showing consent or comparison. If information is meant to be given. For example, although you work hard, I don't earn much money. I'd rather watch film or TV rather than go to the theater. Right or false right intonation. Subordinate clause or subordinate phrase. For example, while I was learning English, he answered. Unfortunately, we got lost on the stay home. The point is he can overcome the phobia. Fasting communication, such as waiting, lip talking, expression of thanks, and other social formula. For example, good morning, see you next week.
Intonation. It's the rise and the fall of your voice when you speak. It's the melodic pattern of your speech. There are 5 basic tones: the fall, the rise, the four-rise, the rise. Intonation. It's the rise and the fall of your voice when you speak. It's the melodic pattern of your speech. The fall. The fall is characterized by pitch movement from high to low. For definite statements, I just bought a car. I just bought a car. I just bought a car. For formal questions, what's your name? What's your name? What's your name? What's your name? To express a strong command, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. To respond to a short yes or no question, am I the brightest? You are. Am I the brightest? You are. Am I the brightest? You are. To express a strong command, will you shut your mouth? Will you shut your mouth? Will you shut your mouth? To make a strong exclamation, oh my, she's a whore. Oh my, she's a whore. Oh my, she's a whore. The four-rise. The four-rise tone starts from a level high pitch, falls to a low pitch, then rises again. This tone leaves a feeling of limited agreement. For correcting someone's statement, you mean you used to love cats? You mean you used to love cats? You mean you used to love cats? To make your request sound pleading, don't go. Don't go. Don't go. To express your reservation about something, especially when your statement is followed by but or I must admit. It might be true, but I don't trust him. It might be true, but I don't trust him. It might be true, but I don't trust him. To make an incomplete statement that leads up to a following word group, I would have bought it if I had the money. I would have bought it if I had the money. I would have bought it if I had the money. To issue a warning, you had better change that topic. You had better change that topic. You had better change that topic. To make a two-part statement, having the first part is more important. I'll be traveling to Ghana. I'll be traveling to Ghana. I'll be traveling to Ghana. To give a one lexical word command, don't, Don't!